ever thought about creating your own home gym or pain cave, then this video might just be for you. So I've just finished turning my garage into a fully functioning training space. I want to show you the journey from the start all the way to the finish. My name is Liam and I'm a very average amateur cyclist based in the UK. And like many others here, I spend most of my time during the winter training indoors. Now my garage used to be a very dirty and cluttered space, and certainly not somewhere that I wanted to be spending hours each week training. So I decided to transform it into a space that would actually motivate me to train. So in this video, I'm going to show you the whole process, from the clearing out to the painting, flooring, building, setting up the equipment, and everything in between. Right then, so let's jump into it. As you can see, it's actually not that bad. Done some work on it previously, painted the walls, upgraded the turbo setup to the Zwift ride, and I've actually got a TV mounted on the bracket here. It used to just be the case that I'd have a little laptop sat in a box and an old wheel-on turbo trainer. If we look a little bit closely though, we can see that it's not very great. The gaps around the garage door lead to a lot of wind and leaves and mud. I've tried to seal it with some wooden battens, but it's not really done a very good job. So this is something that I'm going to want to address. If you come to this end of the garage though, you'll see that it's a little bit smoke and mirrors. It's just a bit of a dumping ground. All the typical stuff that you keep in a garage, all of the tools, and then also just random bits of timber that I've collected over the past couple of years and I'm probably never going to actually use. You also might be able to see at the back here that it's not very well sealed, and what it actually means is during the winter it gets a little bit cold in here, so that's something which I want to get sorted. So what is the actual plan for the space then? Well, hoping to convert this into a fully functioning home gym, not just a place that we can ride the turbo trainer, but we can actually do some strength training too in the off season. At the same time, it does actually need to remain as a bit of a garage, so we need somewhere for all of this stuff to go. Now, I am going to be building something outside in the garden where we can put the likes of the lawnmower, but I also want to make use of the lofted space and build a mezzanine. And at the back as well, somewhere that I can work on the bikes. Normally do it in the kitchen table, but it isn't very practical. So I'm hoping to build a workbench and also some shelves as well for tools and all the bits and pieces that will remain in here. Right then, so let's get to it. That's the clear out complete. Completely empty shell now. Just a case of clearing up everything, getting rid of all of the dust, all of the spider webs, make it nice and clean, and then I'm going to put some paint on the floor to seal it before putting down some rubber mats. Now on day 3. Yesterday we painted the garage floor. Today I'm hoping that it's had plenty of time to set and it's all dry. We can put on the second coat. It's rained all night. It's still raining now and it's been very windy too. So I'm a little bit concerned that some of the rain will have blown underneath the garage door and ruined some of the paint there, but I'm hoping it's not going to be the end of the world. So let's get to it. So it's actually been a few days since I last did any work on the garage, and the weather's just been miserable. I think we had another storm blow in. The good news is that all of the work that I did to seal up the garage doors has worked. It's absolutely bone dry in here. No signs of any water and no leaves, mud that would normally have blown in with this type of weather. So that's worked. The plan for today is to get the garage doors finalised. I'm looking to board them up with some sheets of MDF. I'm hoping to stop all of the spiders and other creepy crawlies from making the webs and the nests in between the joists on the door, just to make it a little bit nicer, and then ultimately I'm going to paint that just to give it a nice clean finish. I'm also going to paint the walls. Now, I wasn't going to do this as this is a job that I did earlier in the year, but the wall which is in front of me, which you can't quite see right now, it's a white wall, and although I actually painted it with masonry paint, I can see some yellowing. So I'm just going to give it another coat with something which is slightly more breathable, hopefully get rid of the yellowing and hopefully prevent it from happening again in the future. So let's get to work. To be using this. So thankfully that is all of the painting now complete. Honestly, I hope I never have to see another paintbrush again in my life, because that just got too much for me in the end. Now, I'm certainly not a perfectionist, but for some reason this brought out the worst of me in that respect. So now on to the flooring. So that's me done for today. I decided to add an extra ½ metre on just to give a little bit more space to work out. If I'm lucky, I'll have enough to fill the gap at the end by the garage door, but otherwise I'm not too fussed. So today is the day. It's been a little while since I actually did any work on the garage now, just waiting for the final few bits to arrive. But I'm expecting to take delivery of the remaining floor mats, but also as well the power rack and all of the weights to finish off the home gym element of the garage conversion. But before all that arrives, I need to get little bits of floor cut out and in place, so when all that arrives, I can just put it straight up in place and not have to move things around too much. Let's get started. Time to cut some floor. A little bit nervous about this, I can't lie, but what's the worst that can happen? That is the floor done. There's only one thing left to do now, and that is to put some skirting around the outside, and then in terms of the actual building work, so to speak, it's all done. Then it's just a case of getting everything set up in here, and then we're good to go. The skirting that I've gone for, I actually saw it off another guy on YouTube, Joe Delaney. It's a skirting that you would normally put on your garage walls to stop your car doors from being scratched, etc. Now I'm going to try and use it as skirting. It's either going to go really, really well or it's going to be extremely rubbish. There's only one way to find out though, isn't there? So all of the gym stuff has arrived now. I've unpacked it. It took a lot longer than I was actually expecting, but it looks quite simple. And more importantly, the way MirrorFit have actually packaged everything up is fantastic. After building those cheap shelves, it's just amazing to see that all of the bolts are kind of semi-pre-assembled. Everything is labeled really well. So I think it's going to be quite straightforward. Wish me luck. We are finally done with the garage build. I'm going to add some final touches and then I'm going to show you the finished piece. Welcome to my new home gym / pain cave / garage. I'm absolutely over the moon with how it turned out and I can't wait to show you all. Starting at the back of the garage then, so this is the functional space. I have a workbench with all of my tools out and to the side of me some shelves of storage. Now I mentioned at the start of the video that I wanted a really practical space to do odd jobs and also work on the bikes, and this is absolutely perfect. I love having all of my tools out here so I can easily pick them up and crack on with something that I need to do. Having all of the tools out of the box and on this wall has made me realise how many things that I actually own. Believe it or not, it turns out I own around about 6 hammers. I've got a few on this wall and some of them are still in the toolbox down there. It's also really nice being able to work on the bike out here in the garage rather than in the dining room, on the dining room table, making an absolute mess. The shelves to the side of me are absolutely amazing. They're really, really sturdy. Plenty of space for all the toolboxes, and then up top got gym equipment, and also decided to keep my gym shoes in here to save getting the floor dirty when I'm in and out across the garden. Behind me is the MirrorFit M200 power rack. I bought it as an all-in-one kit with the rack, the bench, the barbell and the weights. It is fantastic. It looks pristine in this lovely black powder coat and really matches the aesthetic of the gym. I can't believe how solid it is. I thought it might feel a little bit cheap, but it feels absolutely fantastic and is much better than some of the equipment I've used in a commercial gym. It was so easy to put together and I couldn't be happier. I've definitely made the right choice. The set that I bought came with 100 kilos of weights, which is perfectly enough for me and the missus to use. And then finally, at the back of the gym, we have the pain cave element. I have the Zwift ride. Now, although this isn't new, this area feels so much nicer to ride in with the sealed garage doors and the freshly painted walls. I've owned the Zwift ride for about a year now and I've ridden around about 5,000 to 6,000 kilometers on it. So very soon I'm going to make a video sharing my thoughts on it, all the good, the bad and everything in between as well. So stick around if you'd be interested in seeing that. To make the space a little bit nicer around the back, I've added a couple of accessories. There's a few hooks for hats and towels for you to use while you're riding the bike. I've also got some memorabilia from some of the cycling events and competitions that I've entered in the past. Absolutely nothing special and worth writing home about, but it makes me feel really happy and at home in this space. So that's it. If you've watched this far, thank you very much for sticking around. Now, if you're interested in seeing how we use the space or following my cycling journey, feel free to subscribe. My plan is to get weekly videos on this channel following my training journey across the winter and into the 2026 season. If you're interested in seeing a breakdown of how long it took, what things cost and where I got them from, or even what I would do differently, let me know in the comments down below and I may make a video about that in the future. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.